how to work less and double your income without making any particular changes to your career, without making any changes to your business. Now, you see, when it comes to increasing your income, most people make the mistake of trying to outrun their frequency. But in this video, I'm going to give you maybe 4 or 5 steps on how to increase your income without making any particular changes to anything. Because the truth of the matter is most people fail not only to increase their income, but they fail to increase their finances simply because they're playing the game of reality backwards. And how we conceptualize being paid by God or in the universe is acting in accordance beyond these third dimensional realm illusions, which most of us unfortunately are constrained by. By the end of this video, I'm going to make sure that you're swimming in money straight from the bank, and it's raining on you. Pause.
That guy looks like he's running from the bank still.
At least it's a good bank, innit?
And the guy's swimming, nah. Chain hanging, yo. Did you know people are saying we all needed Nero as our dad?
What? Bro, I'm 23. I can't be anyone's dad. Even when the sky comes falling, even when the sun don't shine, I got faith in you and I. So put your pretty little hand in mine. Miguel does not get the ratings he deserves.
He doesn't, innit?
He really doesn't. Okay. Now, guys, as I said, there's about 4 or 5 steps. I ain't really decided how many steps there are. But the whole point about this is for you to transcend illusion. Because most of us play the game of reality confined with the limitations of these third dimensional realms. We constrain ourselves to time, space, and without realizing that these particular illusions that reality presents, because they're simply illusions, which you can transcend simply by aligning yourself with the highest level of consciousness. Which, let me actually give an explanation for that before we go any further. Cool. So I want you to understand something before we continue. As I said, most people play the game of reality backwards. The entirety of this video is going to have one purpose, and that's to unify you with the highest level of consciousness. Now, that doesn't necessarily mean that I'm going to make you niggas vegan and drink smoothies and eat acai bowls and take supplements. It has nothing to do with that. Highest level of consciousness. What we conceptualize as God is simply the highest level of consciousness. Now, when we say highest level of consciousness, also conceptualized as the most high. When we're talking about God, you have to understand that we're talking about a particular, let's say, a being that is above the illusions of reality. And the reason why you will always fail to increase your income, and I say this as somebody who's hired by 6 to 8 figure entrepreneurs, actors and athletes to literally double their income without making any business changes. The only reason that you'll ever fail to increase your income is because whether you realize this or not, your being to one degree or another is trapped within these third dimensional realm illusions that reality presents. And what we conceptualize as God is simply nothing more than the highest level of consciousness. Consciousness simply being the substance of reality. God is in awe. Hence on the Hermetic traditions, they refer to God as the awe, because the awe is in awe and all are in the awe. Now, the whole point of this video is going to be getting you to operate from a God's eye view instead of a human point of view, because any particular degree of suffering arises from one thing, and that's our inability to align ourselves with the highest level of consciousness. Because when you're not aligned to the highest level of consciousness, unfortunately, you're aligned to the lowest level of consciousness. And I want you to conceptualize consciousness or frequency as lenses that we see reality through. You don't see anything in reality particularly in any other way than the shades that you're wearing. Everybody's wearing shades to one degree or another, but we're just unaware of the shades that we're seeing reality through. You don't realize that you're seeing reality in a tinted lens. And as a result of that, you don't realize when that lens is particularly smudged. And please understand what I'm saying. If you ever struggle to increase your income, whether you've been trying to get a new job, whether you've been trying to get a promotion, whether you've been trying to get new clients, it doesn't fucking matter. The only reason you'll always struggle is simply due to the fact that you're operating from the lowest level of consciousness, which means that your view and your particular degree of awareness from reality is lower and limited. That being said, let's get into it. Let's get into it. Don't you love when I come around? Build you up, then I take you down.
Yeah, the video of the guy getting slapped to that song.
Crazy.
Ridiculous.
Absolutely crazy. Absolutely crazy.
You know what? Nah. How can I be just chilling and I check your YouTube comments and someone goes, I do my enlargement routine to this.
Like mental enlargements.
No. I'm not even sure if I'm allowed to say the word on YouTube. But it's your private area enlargement.
Read the comment again.
I do my enlargement routine to this.
Routine.
This is a regular thing.
Somebody saying they do enlargement things while watching us, brother. Bro, stop all of that, please, bro, please. See, how am I supposed to make videos now that I know that there's niggas out here that are doing enlargement routines while watching? What does that even mean? I didn't even know stuff like that existed. Bro, you're in the wrong frequency. Alright guys, the first thing that you need to do when it comes to, no more laughing. The first thing that you need to do now when it comes to increasing your income is one thing. And that is to detach from your industry hive mind. This is actually the things that I take my clients through. So you guys are getting it. To my clients out there, please don't be upset with me. Cool. The first thing that you need to do is detach from your industry hive minds, because whatever it is, and please extrapolate this to wherever you are. You know, a lot of people like to, you know, make it seem as if jobs are a bad thing. I think that's just stupid, to be honest, that particular ideology. And please don't let people gaslight. Please don't let people on the internet gaslight you into not liking your life. Whether it is that you want to get a particular job, whether it's you want to excel in your career, whether you want more clients in your business, whether you just want to make more money in general. These are the 5 steps that you have to do. And the first thing that you have to do is detach from your industry hive mind. Now, I need you to understand something. Now, in multiple traditions, the concept of what's considered to, in the occult tradition as an egregore, in the ancient Tibetan mysticism, is called a tulpa. It's the idea that as human beings, whenever we concentrate a particular degree, so concentrated thought plus mental energy, or thought, mental plus emotional, sorry. So let's say thought and emotional energy leads to the creation of an entity. Now that entity is an organism without a spiritual body. Whatever that entity was created out of is the purpose that it exists. Now this is on an individual level, and the examples that I always give in my videos, conceptualize somebody who always says, it never goes right for me. It never goes right for me. They continuously concentrate mental and emotional energy into that particular entity called it never goes right for me. So now an entity follows them around wanting to do one thing, get their energy. How does it get their energy? Through a particular degree of emotional reactions. There's nothing in the universe more powerful than your emotional energy. So they will seek to quite literally fuck up your life to get a particular degree of emotion out of you so it can sustain itself like a parasite. It's like a parasitic entity, but on the spiritual plane. There's 3 planes of existence: mental, physical, spiritual. Now you have to understand, now that's on an individual level. On a societal level, there is what's considered a hive mind. And if you think about it like this, think about multiple people. Let me just draw these people. All thinking in unison, all aligned, all synchronized, concentrated thought and mental and emotional energy. And it quite literally forms the creation of this entity. Now, when it comes down to your career, your business, whatever it may be, there are industry standard beliefs or truths that have been created based upon the fact that individuals all first began independently thinking them, and then at some point everybody determined that they have some type of truth. I need you to understand one thing. Until you can detach from how the average person in your industry thinks, you will cease to be an anomaly. Most of us want to be an anomaly to some degree or another, whether it's financially, whether it's in your career, whether it's in your job. You can't think like everybody and expect to get results like nobody. You have to think like nobody, and the first step to doing that is detaching from the industry hive mind. Now, the thing that I didn't realize about this entity is that these entities have a particular belief system. They have a paradigm that they want people to be within. As I said, you'll read in Reality Transurfing, it's called a pendulum. To the Gnostics, they also conceptualize, well, not really, but it's similar to the concept of the demiurge. In the Tibetan mysticism, they're called tulpas. In the occult, they're called egregores. It's the idea that there are these beings that have a particular paradigm, and they want as many people in that paradigm as possible. So it will do its best to keep people in that paradigm. But here's the thing. So long as you adhere to the paradigm of the societal hive mind, you will continue to get the results like everybody else. So what you need to do is recognize that and detach from it too. And this is the first thing that I take my clients through. So I'm just going to give a bunch of examples based upon the clients that I've worked with. Please extrapolate this to whatever your particular field is. So, and I like to say this, preface it by saying this: in order to go somewhere you've never been, you need to become someone you've never been. If you want to go to the next particular level financially, in your business, in your career, whatever it may be, you can't stay the same. And beliefs are the building blocks of your reality. So the first thing that's going to have to be replaced is your beliefs to rebuild the new reality that you're going to be walking in. So when I say detaching from your industry hive mind, what I'm saying is detaching from the truths that have been presented to you. Now, I like to say this. This part of the step is going to seem illogical. It might even seem quite stupid. It might even seem dumb because you're going against conventional wisdom. But what we conceptualize to be truths, there's no truths in reality other than what the mind accepts as true. The individual who believes they can and the individual who believes they can't are both correct. Due to the fact that the subconscious mind is the womb of your reality, whatever you experience in your reality as a truth can only take place if it first existed in the subconscious mind. But if it didn't exist in your subconscious mind, you wouldn't have experienced it. Based upon the fact that our ego likes to make sense of things, what we conceptualize as truth as human beings is the things that we experience in the third dimensional realm. But the third dimensional realm in which we operate is an illusionary realm, meaning that it is a delayed creation of consciousness. We associate our reality to be a cause instead of an effect. And if you go across the three planes of existence, the physical plane is the realm of effect. The mental plane is the causal realm. And I like to see the spiritual realm as a particular degree of incubation. It's like an oven. The more connected you are, the quicker things heat up. That's an easy way to conceptualize it. You're going to have to disconnect from the beliefs of your industry. So just for me to give you a couple examples of beliefs that some of my clients have had. And I'm not talking theory, I'm talking shit that my clients have used, I'm talking shit that I've used. So you have to understand that this is the particular degree of spiritual science. So the first belief that one of my clients had, and you know, I hope you don't mind, Laura. I hope you're watching this. Hi, if you are. So she's a farmer who owns about 120-acre farmland in New York. And one of the beliefs, industry beliefs that she had, and please extrapolate this to whatever it is, you're more than intellectually capable enough to do that. One of the industry beliefs that she had as a farmer was that January is a bad period. It's just seasonal. It's just a seasonal bad period. That's standard. One of my clients was a real estate agent, Nicole. Hi, Nicole. I'll stop naming you guys. One of my clients, Nicole, she was a real estate agent. And one of the industry truths was the idea that in a recession, nobody buys houses because nobody's got money. One of my other clients sells products, and his idea was people only gravitate towards cheap products. Nobody has money to pay for expensive products. Now, I hope you're getting an idea of what I'm saying. And whatever your particular field is, there are going to be truths which have been passed on as conventional wisdom. But those truths are only truths for the people that accept it. And until you can detach from those truths, you will continue to experience the same reality as everybody else. And I see it all the time, especially when it comes to social media. people will say that this is the one method that works. This is the only way to go about doing this. But that particular ideology only becomes a reality based upon the emotional conviction that you pour into it being a truth. Understand that if I give you a sugar pill and tell you it's a painkiller and you believe what I'm saying, your body's going to have what's called a placebo effect. But as above, so below, we are walking universes. So the universe itself has a placebo effect, which means that belief is what activates things to change into reality. But transcending belief, it's a particular degree of conviction. So if you have conviction that somebody says this is the only method to do this, January is the worst month for business, the emotional conviction that you pour into belief is what activates that belief to transform itself into a reality. If you believe that you can't get business in a recession, for example, the emotional conviction that you pour into belief is what activates that idea into a reality. Because here's the thing about truths. There are no truths in reality. There are only ideas pretending to be truths. Hence why, if you look in the Kabbalion, it says all truths are half truths. When you look at the law of polarity, and it's based upon the idea of what I just said, you're going to have to find out what your industry beliefs are. And here's the thing, everything has industry belief. People are like to me, how did you go from 4,000 to 100,000 subscribers in 4 weeks on YouTube? And then now we're like 280 in like 5-6 months or something like that, which is quite rapid beyond what people normally expect. And it's because one particular belief that I didn't accept when it came to YouTube was the idea that YouTube growth is slow. Why the fuck would I connect to that belief? Me connecting to that belief would make that belief a reality. Not because it's true, but because somebody else experienced it as true. But here's the thing, how often do we take truths of people who aren't on our frequency? And then their reality becomes our frequency, because the frequency that we operate at is what we experience in reality. So somebody else's experience is just that. It's just a product of their frequency. But when they come around to you and they say like, yo, this is how it goes, this is the truth, and then you accept that and you internalize that, you've now taken the frequency of somebody who you don't want to be like. Why would you do that? And here's the thing, like I said, this goes against conventional wisdom, because here's the thing, you don't have beliefs, beliefs have you. And I need you to understand what I'm saying. When I'm talking about this particular entity that exists on a societal level, you have to understand that it has a psychology. And its psychology is, I want as many people under my umbrella as possible. I want as many people to believe that nobody gets business in a recession. I want as many people to believe that it's hard to sell products that are more expensive. I want people to believe that it's hard, January is a bad month for business. It wants as many believers as possible because what it wants is energy. Now, it's like a blind intelligence. It doesn't hate anybody. It's not personal. It just wants to exist. Yeah. One thing you have to understand about all spirits is that all spirits want to be materialized. This is why when some niggas get possessed, these spirits will say, hey, I'll do a deal with you. I'll jump in your body, and people give it up, whatever. And you have to understand that religious people aren't incorrect when they say that poverty is a spirit, when they say that struggle is a spirit, when they say that scarcity is a spirit. But what they've conceptualized it as is this almost demonic-like entity. I want you to swap out the word spirit with frequency. And once you understand that, everything completely changes. Because then, as I said, beliefs, you don't have beliefs, beliefs have you. Because every belief wants to be in your head and it wants to be materialized. So it will do its absolute best to put you in a mind games, in a mental Squid Games, for you to never ever leave it. And you have to understand that because it wants as many people under its umbrella as it can, when people want to disconnect, it will make you feel stupid for doing so. You don't think I know how some of this shit sounds, that it sounds fucking stupid. And of course it sounds stupid. But that's the thing. Why does it sound stupid? It sounds stupid because the entity that has taken itself in your mind has psychologically now put you in a mind game where it doesn't want you to leave. So now it's going to convince you that any particular degree of detachment from its paradigm, its belief system, is stupid, that it's dumb, that it's not going to work, and that it doesn't make sense. And what about the time that this happened? And look what happened to, this, and my uncle tried it and he lost his leg. And this is what you have to come to an understanding of. You need to detach from the societal hive mind, your industry hive mind. And this could be a multitude of different ways. For example, I work, some of my clients are black, for example. And one thing that as black people, we are consistently drummed into our heads across the world is the idea that because we're black, we have to work twice as hard as everybody else. That because we're black, nobody's going to give us opportunities. That because we're black, we're less likely to get senior positions. That because we're black, nobody's going to take us serious. That because we're black, X, Y, Z. And guess what? Is that a truth in reality? Yes, if the subconscious mind accepts it as true and then it is experienced in reality. So that's one thing that I detach my clients from too. Especially women, for example. Some of my clients are women and they feel like their staff members won't listen to them, or they're less likely. And please extrapolate this to whatever it is, whether it's your job, whether it's a business, whatever it is, right? You can't have these particular ideas, because if a belief doesn't serve you, then it's just there to control you. How does that idea that, let's say in your career, you need to work 30 fucking years before you get promoted? That doesn't make any sense, because the truth of the matter is there are people that have had a particular degree of explosive success. And it's because they weren't confined to the societal industry hive mind beliefs as everybody else. And until you detach from that, you will continue to experience the same reality as everybody else, no matter how hard you fucking work. Because remember, the physical plane is the realm of the effect. The physical plane is the realm of effect. Say it with me. The physical plane is the realm of effect. And you can't change an effect by changing an effect. You could be overqualified. You could be more than qualified and still not have a particular degree of success. You could do everything that you got to do physically. You could make sure your CV is great, your employment history is great, you got great references, you've put in all the work for the business that you're about to begin, and you're still not experiencing the degree of success that you should. And it's simply more than likely due to the fact that to one degree or another, you are still somewhat attached to the industry hive minds. So what you need to do is to create your own. What you need to do is to use what's called in the Hermetic tradition as the law of neutralization. Wait right there. Oh, you're about to get some. Just wait right there.
Pause.
Nah, play, resume.
That's outrageous.
Oh, they're gonna get it. I'll show you.
How?
Hard. All these dollars all around. Dollar bills, yeah. Dollar bills. Got you cheese. All right, cool. So, as I said, and please extrapolate this to your beliefs. What you should be doing is thinking, whether it's in my career, what's the beliefs around progress, around success in my beliefs? What are the commonly accepted industry truths? I can't tell you what it is because I can't talk to you, unfortunately. But you should be able to write it down and determine what it is, whether it's your business, whether it's a career, it doesn't fucking matter. So, for example, right? And one of my clients is actually an artist, and especially if you're black. If you're black, being an artist is like training to be homeless. Like that's how niggas view it, unfortunately. One of my clients is an artist who sells like 100K per piece. Shout out Woody. Now, one of the beliefs that we had to speak about in his industry was that art is a struggling profession. That's just a commonly accepted industry standard belief. And at the time when we were working, he was saying the art game was kind of fucked up and it was in a bad space and the art game was in a recession. And I want you to do this for whatever beliefs, and it's important you do this because until you can mentally reconstruct what is going on within, nothing will be reconstructed without. And the biggest mistake that a lot of people make is attempting to change the outer before changing the inner. It's as within as without. Not as without as within as without. On earth as it is in heaven. Art game is in a recession. And what you need to do with the industry standard belief is to choose its polarity, its energetic opposite. So this one could be art game is in abundance. for example. You could say not in a recession, same thing. Now, you have to understand, in the Hermetic tradition, because there's all truth or half truth, you have to understand that every belief hides its option. That's a borrow that down. Every particular belief that is given to you or presented by your industry hides its alternative. And it's about your ability to choose the alternative, which is exactly what will make you the alternative in your industry. Now, art games in recession, art games in abundance. Both of these beliefs require the same amount of energy. Their only difference is their rate of vibration. Because their only difference is their rate of vibration, vibration eventually becomes frequency, frequency eventually becomes reality. So the first thing that we need to do to change vibration is to realize what your vibration is dependent upon. Because if somebody's experiencing a particular condition, and please, like I said, extrapolate this to your field, if you're finding it hard to be promoted, if you're finding it hard to get a job, if you're finding it hard to get more clients into your business, you're going to have to come to the realization that your experiencing of one particular reality is an indication that that's where your vibration is skewed. Now, because vibration is frequency without momentum, vibration, when it gains momentum, becomes frequency. Frequency eventually becomes reality. Frequency is nothing more than immaterialized reality, and reality is nothing more than materialized frequency. Frequency is interchangeable with consciousness, self-concepts, self-image, whatever you want to conceptualize as, it doesn't particularly matter. Now, in order to move, AJ, if the only difference between these two beliefs, they're the same energy, if the only difference between them is their rate of vibration, what's the only thing you'd have to change to go from here to go over here?
Frequency? No, your vibration.
Bingo, your vibration. Vibration, perfect. So then the $1 million question is, how do I change my vibration? If you can answer that question, you can quite literally alter reality. Because remember, what we conceptualize as reality is the end product. Reality before reality is frequency. Frequency before frequency is vibration. So if we can find what vibration is to begin with, then we could literally have an entire chain reaction all the way down to our reality to change everything.
I see.
You change your vibration through one word, and that is concentration. Because it rhymes. Your concentration / focus. You have to come to the understanding that the more you can begin to concentrate on the energetic polarity of your industry beliefs, that is how you transcend being the average person and quite literally entering your own world, where people are like, how the fuck did they do this? And everybody knows people in their field that are like, how the fuck are they able to do this? They're not doing anything different to me. They're not particularly more overqualified than me, but how are they just killing it? It's because mentally they're different, but you can't see that because thoughts are supposedly kept secret. But they're not, because if you want to know what somebody's thinking, simply look at their world. Let's borrow that down. If you're able to focus now on the energetic polarity of whatever belief it is that you want to shift away from into, then you change vibration, you change frequency, you change reality. So that is how you detach from the societal mind. But it doesn't end there. It doesn't end there, because unfortunately, all of this stuff has to be done in let's say synchronicity or unison. You can't just simply do one part. It's not enough. It's not enough. Few solid niggas left, but it's not enough.
Bruh. Who's calling my phone? Who's calling my phone? Who's calling my phone?
What the fuck the function?
What the fuck the function? Drake doing Drake things, bro.
Yeah. I can't wait to see his comeback, to be fair.
Who's come back, Kendrick?
You know, they say delusion is a form of manifestation. Is that what you're doing?
Maybe.
How can somebody actually comment, thanks, Unc? How can I be Unc? How can I be Unc? I'm 23. How's that even possible?
You're 29. It's okay, man.
I give my birthday, but I know niggas like to read charts and stuff like that. Somebody was like, when's your birthday? I gave it to them. They're like, what's your blood type? I said, are you a vampire? Like, pack it in, man. Pack it in.
I'm surprised they didn't ask what time was you born.
They ask that too. Where were you born and stuff like that. I was born at like 2 a.m. guys. So
That's wild.
I was born in the darkness. I got molded by it. I didn't see the light until I was a man. For those of you who don't know what I'm talking about, please, the highest level of metaphysics that you can ever study. You know, people always say to me, you know, how did you get all this knowledge? Like, how did you go about it? And, you know, I always say, just watch the Batman trilogy. Taught me everything I needed to know. That's it. That's it. And Homelander and Joffrey Baratheon from Game of Thrones. Yeah. And Tuco from Breaking Bad. Now, the second thing that you have to come to an understanding of if you want to double your income without doing work, and I don't want to say doing work because you're still going to have to work. We exist on a physical level, but more important than action alone is right action, which means action that is preceded by the correct frequency of the reality that you're attempting to move into. But I'll get into that later. But the second thing that you have to know is one simple question. And this one question, people don't realize how this fucks them up entirely. And when I talk to people just day to day, and everybody wants to progress, everybody wants to elevate, but they don't. Because mentally, they're unaware that they've put themselves in a straitjacket to which that they can't move. And the straitjacket isn't physical, it's mental. Most of us operate in prisons with no lock. You understand what I'm saying? Ask yourself this question. One question. How do you view what you do? Seems quite simple, isn't it? It's like, what's the big deal about that? Well, you have to understand something. What I call the PP, pause.
Whoa, that's insane.
The PP is what I call perception projection. You have to understand, the way you look at life is the way life looks at you, because you and life are one. Your perception is directly interconnected to the projection of the reality that you experience. Most people are trapped in what I call the PP cycle. Pause again. And what I mean by that is this. As I said, you don't see the world with your eyes, you see the world with your mind. And that's a bar that down. This is why people can look at the exact same experience and take away different things. Because unfortunately, you don't see anything in reality other than your level of consciousness. And you can see no more than whatever it is you're vibratorily aligned to in reality. And you have to understand that a lot of people, whether it's their job, and please, don't let online niggas gaslight you niggas into hate in your life. Please don't do that, because in doing so, you actually create and emit a frequency for you to hate your life even more, which means that life hates you, and then shit's just hard. You have to understand, most people view whatever it is what they do, whether it's a job, whether it's their actual career that they want to progress in, whether it's a business. The way that you view what you do, your clients, your business entirely, your career entirely, matters more than you fucking think. Because I'll give you an example. Let's say somebody works a career and they're like, this bullshit job, fuck, I'm in the matrix. This is bullshit. That degree of perception will then equate to that particular projection in reality being experienced. Because as I said, we don't see the world with our eyes, we see it with our mind. All of us are wearing shades. You guys can just see my shades. But everybody's wearing invisible shades. And those invisible shades tint the world that you see. And if the world that you see is tinted, then what you then experience is a tinted reality. And please extrapolate this to whatever it may be. So more often than not, I'll get clients that come to me and they're like, yeah, my business, yeah, it's been fucking down, man. Like, yeah, it's just been fucking terrible. We've just been losing money. It's fucking terrible. I'm like, whoa. Your perception equals to your projection. More often than not, we don't understand how we view what it is that we're doing. Because the way that you view something is the way it views you. And the way that you view something is the way that you experience it. So you have to make sure that your perception serves you instead of destroys you. Because if the perception that you have towards what you do doesn't serve you, then it's just there to control you. I repeat, if the perception that you have doesn't serve you, it is just there to control you. Because if you come to the understanding that the way that you see something is the way that reality looks back at you in turns, which means the way that you experience something, if you're viewing something as the worst fucking thing ever, then how are you going to experience it as the worst thing ever? Because what you have to come to an understanding of, and this is on a physiological level as human beings in our minds, there's a portion of our mind called the reticular activating system in our brain. And the reticular activation system is simply a focusing mechanism. Whatever the thinker thinks, the prover proves. If you hold a particular idea of something or a particular perception of something, that portion of your brain filters out everything else in your reality, filters everything out so you don't even experience it. So if you see what you do as they don't fucking appreciate me, they don't treat me the way that I should be treated, you quite literally filter out every other experience that could actually show you that they do appreciate you. And in doing so, you then reinforce it into your mind more because now you've experienced it in reality and you said, this is the truth, I've experienced it, without realizing that there's no truth in reality other than what the subconscious mind accepts as true. And your perception is directly interconnected to your projection. And because you're seeing it in the worst possible light, you're then experiencing it in the worst possible light, and then thinking that that worst possible light is the truth without realizing that that light is being shunned by you. That's a bar of that down. So how do you view what you do? How do you view your clients? How do you view your career? How do you view your business? If you view it as it's not working, most of the time the only reason niggas are stuck is because they're seeing that they're stuck. They've decided that they're stuck. Your perception is directly interconnected to your projection. The reality that you experience is, and this is the trick of it all. This is the trick of it all. And 90% of the world will never come to the realization that they're trapped in their own cycles. And what I mean by that is this. They experience a world where they experience something they don't like, something that they don't want to experience. They then see it in the worst possible light. They're like, see, I didn't get that fucking promotion. I knew, yeah, man, it just didn't promote me. You know, I've only been here for 185 years and, you know, they haven't promoted me. See it in the worst possible light. And then they experience it in the worst possible light because that was their perception anyways. What they didn't realize that that promotion skipped them because they skipped themselves internally. And it's a bar of that down. And it's the same thing. Please extrapolate this with your career. Extrapolate this whether you're in a job to be a stepping stone. If you want to do something else, if you don't, it's fucking fine. In your business, it's the same thing. If you view it in one way, it's only going to be that way. Ironically, I had a client who had a modeling agency. And because he was on a spiritual journey, he viewed that modeling agency as like degenerate, just like worst thing and superficial and stuff like that. I think his business went like this. How else could it be? What else could it do? That particular degree of perception then led to a projection and experience of reality because your perception emits a frequency. That frequency then eventually becomes the projection, what we call our reality that we experience. So we had to alter his perception completely. You have to alter your perception in a way that reflects the reality that you want to experience. So if you want to have a good experience at your day-to-day job, then you need to perceive that job as the best fucking thing ever. And once again, it goes against conventional wisdom. I know, but this is what you need to do because that conventional wisdom is nothing more than the belief that has taken over your mind, boxing you into a paradigm so you don't ever leave it. Perception is the same thing. Perceptions have paradigms too. The way that you perceive something right now is its own entity that literally just wants to maintain. I hope this person keeps seeing it like this so I can get as much energy from them as possible. It doesn't care about you. You need to care about you. And the highest definition of caring about yourself is seeing reality in a way that benefits you entirely. And so bar that down. You need to see your day-to-day job not as this fucking long thing and it's tiring and it's the worst thing ever and all of this and all of that, because that's how you're going to experience it. And then when you experience it, you're going to see, yeah, see, I was right. I was right. Of course you're right. You're not right because you're a genius. You're right because there are no truths in reality other than what the subconscious mind accepts as true. And it's the same thing with your business. If the lens that you're seeing your business through isn't in a way that benefits you and you're seeing this business as, yeah, man, it's long, man. Yeah, it's long, man. Yeah, it's not working. Yeah. You then set in motion for that perception to become projected into reality. So you ask yourself, how do I view what I do? And be honest, because you can lie to me, nigga. You can lie in these comments, that's fine. But you can't lie to reality, because reality has a bullshit test and will fail every single time. because your frequency doesn't lie. Your reality doesn't lie. The reality that you're continuously experiencing is nothing more than a frequency that you're maintaining. And that's the truest essence of who you are, because it transcends the logic of the conscious mind, bypasses directly into the, what's the word for illogic? Illogical nature of the subconscious mind. You're right there, bro. You're just rocking back and forth.
Good stuff.
I said good stuff.
Isn't it kind of like, what's it called? The red car theory?
Exactly. That's an example of the reticular activation system. Nigga, a couple years ago, I bought a Burberry coat. Most nigga thing I could ever do. I bought a Burberry coat. I didn't see anybody with it. Bought that coat, fam. 1 month later, I'm seeing everybody with it. I'm like, ah. But that's how the mind works. It filters things in and out. Whatever the thinker thinks, the prover proves. Whatever you hold in the mind will eventually express itself into reality on a metaphysical level, because that emits a frequency that causes reality to reconstruct itself. And then on a physical level, the mind just filters things in and out. You didn't have to cut me off.
I thought he was gonna say you digging, bro. PTSD.
What?
PTSD. Here it is.
I don't even need that though. You treat me like a stranger and feel so rough.
Sometimes I feel like I live in your comment section.
Me too.
How could someone say, I feel like putting them on blast. They said, regardless if the allegations are true or not, Nero might as well start a body oil line. Call it Golden Nectar.
Golden nectar.
Yeah.
I'll call it chocolate sugar. Or brown sugar.
Don't give this man ideas, man.
Nah. Watch the space, guys. Watch the space. Body oil collection coming out soon. Guys, I don't oil up. I can't keep defending this. Why are you looking at me?
Just tell them, bro.
Bro,
Tell them the truth.
Bro, I walk in here, you're topless. Not like that.
Oh,
like when you're coming to record.
God, no, it's over, bro. It's over. Just move past it. Jeez, I don't even know what the hell you were trying to say.
Me neither, to be honest.
You see why there's allegations, bro?
Allegations are just allegations, man. So,
allegedly,
guys, this is number 3. Stay with me now. Because as I said, it's important that you get all 5 steps so you can use them all at once. Instead of using 1 out of 5 or 2 out of 5, use 5 out of 5. I don't even know if it's 5 points, to be fair. We'll see. But this is the third thing. And believe it or not, this is the funniest one. So you have to understand, there's a law called cause and effect. Now, when we say effect, we are talking about what pertains to what we conceptualize as reality, also known as the physical plane, also known as the 3rd dimensional realm. Now, this is the realm in which our ego exists. And because our ego exists here, when the ego sets out to do things, it begins to associate action and result. I repeat, it begins to equate action to result. Action is not result. Action is what midwifes the energy of frequency into reality. Understand what I just said? As human beings, we operate in this 3rd dimensional realm. Whenever we want to do things, we take physical action to do. If I want to eat something, pause, I go and get something to eat. If I want to drink something, pause. And I'm only doing that because Age is smirking in the corner, so I don't know, I feel a bit suspect. But anytime that we want to do anything, whether it's to write something on a board, talk to somebody, is typically a physical act. And because the mind is conditioning, the mind begins to associate, if I want to get a result, and we can also say result as change, if I want to get a change, I must take action to get that change. Once again, this is what the ego does. It begins to associate action with change, and that is not how reality works. Because the reason why I put this box here is because all of this is within the same realm. You're saying, I want to change an effect by changing an effect. That doesn't make any sense. That doesn't even make sense. You can't change an effect by changing an effect. What is the only way you can change an effect? Exactly, cause. And the only way that you can change the cause, and please think about it like this. So whether it's wanting to make more money in your business, getting a promotion in your career, finding a job that makes more money. You say to yourself, I want to make X amount of money. I want to make X amount of money. And you may do everything that you need to do. You may set up all the systems in your business. You may do all the marketing. You may hire the right people. You might have the right things in order to do that. And in your career, you might get the qualifications. You might have the work experience. You might have the work history, so on and so forth. In your job, you could be putting in those hours as hard as you can. Same thing in your career, putting those hours in as hard as you can. Same thing in your business, putting those hours in as hard as you can. But nothing is changing. Why? Because the only way that you are ever going to increase your income is if you first become the income that you want to be. And what I mean by that is this. Most of the time, we're focused on doing. We'll do everything we need to do to double our income. But doing is in the realm of effect. And you can't change an effect by changing an effect. Listen, you can do as much as you want. You can put in those hours. You can apply for a bunch of jobs. You could keep trying to get promoted. You could do marketing for your business, do everything, and it's still not working. Why? Because you've associated doing with creation, but doing is not creation. The only thing that is creation is being. Now, let me ask you a question. You want to make more money, but are you more money?
That's a bar, write that down. That's a bar, write that down.
Yeah. Seriously. Because more often than not, we want to attain things in reality without first being it. But that goes against the nature of the universe. And anytime you go against the nature of the universe, you ultimately suffer. Look what happens when you attempt to go against the tide. You can't. And that's a minor example that can be reflected on a metaphysical level, because more often than not, we attempt to go against the very nature of the universe. The nature of the universe is cause and effect. And we make the mistake of attempting to do more to get more. If you want to get more, you need to be more. So, and I'm just going to throw some examples out there. Let me put it in a different color. I'm just going to throw some examples out there just so it's a bit easy for people to conceptualize. So let's say, of course, there's the job, there's people that have careers, and there's business. So let's say in your business, you're making, most of my clients are making like 100K a month. And they say to me, hey, I want to go to like 200K a month. Or let's say in your career, you say that I want a particular promotion. And I don't know what that promotion is because it's depending upon your career. And in your job, you either want a new job that pays more, for example, or whatever. Or get promoted in your job. You can do everything to get to that next level in your business. You can do everything to get that promotion. You can do everything to get that new job. But if you aren't the new job already, if you aren't the promotion already, if you aren't the new level already, then you can't create it. Because the annoying law of the universe is you can only have what you already have. So whatever it is that you have is the only thing you can already have. Whatever you have is the only thing you can have. I repeat, whatever you have is the only thing you can ever have. What's having mean, Nero? Well, it depends on what the universe defines as having. And what the universe defines as having is whatever it is that you are vibrationally declaring. So most of the time, most people will be vibrationally declaring the level that they want to move away from while attempting to do everything to get to the new level. But you can't outrun your frequency. You can't outgrind the universe. You can't outwork the universe. You can't out-hustle frequency. You can't outrun it. Because ultimately, your frequency will be created in your reality every single time. So until you first change your frequency to be reflective of your desired reality, whatever that target may be, you will stay in the same position. So then it's a matter of, okay, how do I be the new job? How do I be the promotion? How do I be the next income level? pause.
Damn.
I only paused because I don't know why I like moaned as I was going down.
That's insane. Nothing new.
All of these things output to your frequency. And somebody conceptualized it as bait. Your beliefs, your attention, or we can conceptualize it as focus, your identity, your thoughts, which thoughts, ECT, emotionally charged thoughts, and then this should be E for emotional conviction, but conviction. What you need to do is to begin to believe the things that somebody at a new promotion would have. I knew I was going to get promoted. Of course they're going to fucking promote me. How could they not promote me? I'm so glad I got this promotion. It allows me to do this, this, and this. Man, I knew this promotion was coming. I love this new promotion. New level. And please extrapolate this to wherever it is in your business, right? Whether it's 10K, 20K, even more, you know, a couple mil a month, whatever it is. You wouldn't be thinking, man, I want to go to the next level. The next level that you want to be at would have to be where you're looking from. So long as you see a target, that implies that you're separate from a target. You need to see from the target, because ultimately that perception will then change that projection of reality. And the mistake that we keep making is actually repelling our desired reality, whatever level it is, away from us by looking at it and saying, I want to go there, I want to go there. But you can only have what you already have, the annoying law of the universe. And if you can only have what you already have, light bulb moment, until you see reality from where you want to be, you will then not vibrationally declare to the universe that you have it, and then you can't have it because you can only have what you already have. So then you need to begin to taking the identity of that person. The identity of that person means that there's things that that person has that's aligned to their identity and things that are not. You know what I'm saying? Batman doesn't run like Flash. Flash doesn't fly like Batman. You know what I'm saying? It's the identity. There are things that align with that particular individual. Those thoughts that are emotionally charged. More often than not, when we want to go somewhere, we're emitting thoughts that actually indicate that we are unsatisfied with where we want to be, as opposed to being satisfied with where we want to be. How often are you expressing gratitude for the fucking target that you want to get? And think about it like this. There's a story in the Bible of a man named Lazarus that Jesus raised from the dead. Now, the first thing that everybody's outside the tomb, and Jesus is like, I'm going to raise the guy from the dead. And everybody's like, what? And Jesus says, Father, I thank you that you have heard me and you always hear me. And everybody's like, why is he thanking God? My man hasn't even woken up from the dead yet. This guy's gassed. He's a bit gassed. Guess who walks out? Lazarus. What's the esoteric nature of that story? Jesus was displaying a particular degree of gratitude ahead of time before reality changed. Because expressing gratitude for a reality that hasn't materialized yet is the truest indication that you have it. So how often are you grateful for that promotion? How often are you internally expressing gratitude for the new job? How often are you expressing gratitude for the new level? Cause and effect, cause and effect. You need to dissociate from the idea that doing will get you to where you want to be. Being is what will get you to where you want to be. Doing is important because doing is what midwifes the energy of being into reality. So don't listen to them spiritual niggas that tell you that you can just sit there and shit's gonna fly into your... No, it doesn't work like that, unfortunately. There's 3 planes of existence and I'm not here to bullshit you niggas. That appeals because it's the aspect of us all that is fucking tired. But you have to come to the understanding a lazy particular degree of consciousness will eventually reflect itself into reality. And there's 3 planes of existence. You can't escape the physical plane that exists. But more important than any type of action, any type of doing, is doing that is preceded with the right state of being. And so long as you are being the next level that you want to go to, then that is what will eventually materialize itself into reality. But you can do everything that you need to do for the next level. But if you're stuck being your current level, that's the only place you're going to stay. Entiendo? Understand? It go in, out, do it real slow. Better days coming for sure.
If it were up to me. Kendrick's only good song.
Don't be cheeky.
Nah. You know what? I think I'm gonna stop the Kendrick hate.
Thank God.
But that don't mean I'm gonna stop loving Drake.
How can you as a grown man say a sentence like that? I don't even understand how you can say something so proudly.
Hey, don't be a
Gobble,
hater.
gobble, gobble. That's all I hear from you.
Don't be a hater.
Gobble, gobble, gobble.
Don't be a hater.
Bro, Drake's in my top 5. I told you my top 5. No order. Jay-Z, Nas, Kendrick Lamar.
Bro, stop.
Jay-Z, Nas, Kendrick Lamar.
Drake.
Drake.
Just put Gunner in there.
I think I'll put Gunner in there.
Yeah. I'll put Kanye in mine as well, so Kanye probably replaced
He's been tweaking lately though, supposedly.
Allegedly.
Allegedly. Allegedly. Oh, you got money like that, you can say what you want. Yo, give me a couple Fam, for some reason, AJ's dream destination that he wants us to go to is Canada. So obviously, I was looking at flights and shit for Canada. You know it's snowing over there.
Oh, it's snowing over there.
Brother, the snow is like this big.
Oh, don't be ridiculous, bro.
Mom's life.
You literally went on a winter trip like a few
Yeah,
weeks ago.
I just came back from Switzerland and that was already snow. So why would I want to do that?
You
Bro,
said-
I was in Italy at the start of the year. Then I just came back from Switzerland. That's 2 winter trips. You want me to go Canada as well? More snow.
Bro, the snow ain't that bad, bro. I know it ain't.
Have you seen that Canadian snow?
I ain't seen it. It can't be snowing right now, bro. I'm gonna search it.
Brother, people are having snowstorms out there. Hell, it was even snowing in like Texas not too long ago. You see when it was snowing in Atlanta?
Whoa, that's dark.
The man them were
Minus 12.
The man them were giving snowmen shiesties and that.
Yeah, that's insane. Why am I seeing minus 12? Is that normal?
Minus 12.
That can't be.
I don't think my melanin can handle that, bro.
Yeah, that's tough though. I didn't know it got that cold.
Came from the north, but I got hot as fuck, so ain't no shivering. Is this 4? This should be 4, innit?
Yeah, that's 4.
Did you ever watch that film called Divergent?
Nah.
There's a nigga in there called 4, Tobias. He's the same actor in Gentleman. He's hard.
You know when you say Tobias, I think of Black Lightning Tobias. You ever watch that? Yeah. You watch Black Lightning?
Bro, Black Lightning, with all due respect, like, to the actors and stuff like that, and I say this as a real Marvel fan, like, real deal, like, Black Lightning might have been one of the worst, like, things ever. You're telling me that this brother can wear a suit and nobody can see it's him. And all this nigga does is wear goggles. But he's built the same. His voice has a bit of a changer, but you can see it's him. And no one knows it's him.
Bro,
Tobias is funny. He was like, everybody want to meet Jesus, but nobody wants to die. Oh, he's funny.
Nah, that show was just different, bro. It really was just different.
By the way, guys, if you're an entrepreneur who's stuck at a revenue ceiling and you want a 2 to 5 extra business in the next couple of weeks without making any business changes, the link in the description. I've worked with people that have gone from 120k a month to 260k a month in 2 months. I worked with people that have gone from 326k to 486k in 2 months. I've worked with people that have gone from being stuck at 15k for like 4 months to making 30k in like, what was that, like 8 weeks or something like that. So link in the description. But number 4, neutralize to normalize. Now, after all of this is step-by-step shit, by the way. You niggas should be doing this step-by-step. All of this eventually will get you to a point. Once you have detached from the societal or industry beliefs, and you've now stepped into your own by using the energetic opposites of polarities to then centralize and focus on a particular idea that reflects a vibration that you like, which eventually becomes a frequency, then a reality. Then once you have altered your perception towards what it is that you do, because how you view something is how it will view you in turn, how you experience it. And then once you've shifted from, instead of trying to do everything with effect, and shifted your cause and become that next level that you want, then you need to neutralize it. And neutralization is the easiest way to normalize it. Now, the unfortunate thing is this: whenever we want to move to somewhere, there's a particular level of pedestalization that we give it. We put it on a pedestal. And one of my clients is an actor, and he was on Snowfall, so shout out Isaiah. He was Leon on Snowfall. We talk about this all the time. It's that particular idea of neutralizing any particular thing that we want. Because unfortunately, as I said, when we pedestalize something, we give it a particular degree of importance. When we give it a particular degree of importance, we then actually don't come to the understanding that the universe interprets importance as energetic space. And the more importance that you have for something, the bigger the gap in between you and your desired reality. And we need to neutralize your desired reality to normalize it. Because the only reason you make the amount of money that you do right now, the only reason that you're in the career that you're, the position in your career, and the only reason you have the job that you do right now or don't have a job is because it's normal to you. And because it's normal to you, the universe then adds that to what it admits to be your frequency, because it's normal to you, it's consistent. You need to neutralize your desired reality, and you neutralize by minimizing it, your perception towards it. And the only way you can do that is through coming to an understanding of what the real game is. You don't want to make more money. You don't want that new career. You don't want that job. If we put desire here, the only reason you will ever want anything in reality is to feel a way that you don't feel right now. That's it. If I said to you, you can 10x your money in a day, but you can't spend it, you wouldn't fucking want it. Because what's the point of that? What's the point of that? Because the whole purpose of making any type of degree of money is because we know when we make more, it allows us to do more for those people that we love. And it provides us a particular degree of security and stabilization. Once again, security, stabilization, and being able to do things for people that we want to do, which we will then feel great about. What you always wanted isn't money. What you simply wanted is a different state of consciousness, without recognizing that that state of consciousness doesn't require a gatekeeper. There's no middleman. You can jump to that state of consciousness right now and feel how you'd feel in that reality right now. Because ironically, until you can feel, think, and have the conviction of how you'd feel then, right now, then will just always be then, and it will never be right now. And that's a bar that down. You need to neutralize that reality by understanding that it's not about the fucking money. It's not about doubling your income. It's not about the status of being in that particular career. It's not about anything other than you wanting to feel a way that you might not feel. That's it. You only want the promotion in your career because you want recognition and appreciation and validation. Give that all to yourself right now. And ironically, the more you allow those frequencies to marinate in you, that's actually what's going to lead to the promotion. You want to feel more stable. That's why you want to make more money. You can give yourself a particular degree of internal stability. Because here's the thing. If you allow the world to give you these things, then you allow the world to take these things from you. And anything that can be taken from you is not part of who you are. That's a bar, write that down. And I mean that pertaining to your cosmic identity. Now, the last thing. The final thing. I might not even write this down. I don't think it needs to be written down. And this is one thing I do every single day without fail. I've been doing it while we're in this video. Okay, now catch up to my campaign. Coupe color of mayonnaise. I'm drunk her at the same time, drinking champagne on an airplane. Spin it around like a gun range. Beat it up like rampage. Cool. So the final thing that you do to, well, final thing you need to do to put a nice little neat bow on all of this is simple. And that is to shift from what you've been emitting currently. All of us, when we want to go somewhere, unfortunately, we unconsciously begin to take on this particular aspect of scarcity. We begin to move with the idea of, I don't have enough. I don't have what it is that I want. What you need to shift from is from thinking thoughts that reflect, resonate, or imply that you don't have enough or as much as you want. And you need to shift to mentally injecting into your head every single second of every fucking day that you have more than enough. I always say in my head, I have more than I can spend. I have more than enough. I have more than I can spend. I have more than enough. Consistently, while combining that feeling with a particular degree of gratitude and calmness, because, you know, I'm just a chill guy. And quite literally, this is the final thing to put a neat little bow on it. Because this will be the true confirmation that you have now shifted to doubling your income or that next level, getting that job, getting that career, no matter what it is. That ultimately is what will make all the difference. And think about it. We're always thinking, I don't have enough, I don't have enough. What is that indicating to the universe? You can only have what you already have. If you don't have enough, then you can only have that. So then the universe makes sure you never have enough. But once you begin to step with the idea and the frequency that I have more than enough, well, you will then have more than enough.